Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Craig Poisson, and I serve as the Director of Athletics here at Springfield College. This platform this morning is designed for those interested in pursuing intercollegiate athletics. So let me welcome our future student athletes. We have 4 sessions, if you will, planned for this morning, each between 20 and 30 minutes. The intent is to provide pertinent information and also to give you a feel for Springfield College athletics. While the true feel, the real feel of Springfield College and its athletics program is really felt on campus, we contend that we can give you a pretty good feel virtually. So again, thank you for joining us. After brief comments from me, we have 4 student athletes here, also referred to as wearers of the jersey. Paniotis, McKaylee, Sam, and Todd. They will speak about their student athlete experiences. Following our stellar student athletes, we have 5 members of our support staff, Dr. Thompson, Nini, Barkley, Daisy, and Dr. Milano, who will speak each about their particular area of expertise and how that expertise is shared with our student athlete population. At roughly 10:45, although some have decided to join early, you will have an opportunity to interface directly with a member of the coaching staff of your sport of interest through a breakout room selection menu. And batting cleanup will be Delaney McGoffin, who I would like to publicly thank for organizing this event this morning. Delaney will close with an important and informative admissions session. Before we get to our student athlete panel, I'll use my teaching adage and leave you with 3 items. 3 items that I believe make the Springfield College athletics program distinctive. First, number 1, we are driven by and beholden to our Humanics philosophy. The Humanics philosophy of Springfield College stresses the development of the whole person in spirit, mind, and body in leadership for service to others. You would be hard-pressed to find another institution so mission-driven. Number 2, we have a unique, rare, if you will, teacher-coach model in that our head coaches are members of the faculty. It is one way that the college insists that that which takes place on the playing surfaces and in the pool is as important as takes place in the classroom. And thirdly, our student athletes thrive in the classroom, in the community, and in the competitive arena. And for more on that piece, I'd like to introduce and turn the program over to our Assistant Athletics Director for Compliance and Student Athlete Development, Michelle Lee Cecina. Again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Craig. Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle Lee Cecina. As Craig mentioned, I'm the Assistant Athletic Director for Compliance and Student Athlete Enhancement here at Springfield. Just want to take a minute to welcome everyone. You're going to hear from our students today, from our support services, and then you'll have an opportunity to talk to a coach from the sport that you're looking to play, and obviously hear some from admissions. So we're really excited to share a lot of information with you today. If you have any questions throughout the 2 panels, please feel free to send me a direct message in the chat. And if we have time, we'll get to those questions at the end. If we don't have time on the panel, then I will make sure we get back to you with the answer to your question. So without further ado, I'm going to start our student panel. The students are going to start by introducing themselves. So we will start with you, Cam.
Hey everyone, my name is Cameron Borges. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island, and I'm on the football team.
Major?
I'm a sport management major, I apologize.
No worries, thanks.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm a sophomore. I'm from Bridgewater, Massachusetts. I'm on the women's basketball team, and I am in the physical therapy program.
Hi, my name is McKaylee. I am a sophomore in the health science program. and I'm an international student from St. Lucia.
What's up, everybody? My name is Peniotis Kapanides. I'm a sophomore. I'm in the exercise science program, and I'm on the men's basketball team.
Thanks, everybody. We're going to get into some questions from each of our students. So Cam, if you could start by telling us a little bit about your impression of the culture of athletics here on campus, and specifically the support from your coaches and your teammates.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I want to start off first by saying, culture is something that we are driven by here at Springfield College. One of those things that everyone has each other's backs, but also it starts from the top down, the seniors to the first year students. It's really remarkable to see the amount of support that each other has for each other. And that then goes into what I want to talk about a little bit about how each team actually supports each other. And we all are intertwined in the dorms. And that's like really cool to me because being a football player, my roommate's a basketball player. The culture here is driven by athletics. So that alone really helps, but also with our coaches, our coaches push us to do everything we can. They push us to do extracurriculars such as join clubs. So for instance, myself, I started a club on campus called Minds in Motion. And basically it's a club about mental health, but I'm also part of Men of Excellence and SGA, which is our student government association. And then also Dr. P was talking about Humanics earlier. And I want to say that, on campus, again, like I said, it's driven by our athletes. So, I was lucky enough to receive one of the Humanics scholarships this semester. And, that just goes to tell you, what our athletes will do on campus.
Thanks, Cam. That's a great answer. Sam, if you could talk to us a little bit about how you've developed as a leader in your time here on campus.
Yeah, I think a big thing for Division III is that when you come in as a freshman, you have the opportunity to play right away. And that's kind of how I developed as a leader. I was able to get on the court and learn exactly from the seniors who had done it 4 years before me. And also we have lots of different things. We have SALT, which is the student athlete leadership team. And we all meet together like bi-weekly and just try to get things together on campus. So outside of athletics, there's many different things that the athletes can do to become better leaders.
Thanks, Sam. McKaylee, we're going to shift over to you, and being on the women's swimming and diving team, you're obviously a winter sport. Can you talk to us a little bit about what a typical day is like when you're in season?
Yeah, sure. So a typical day when I'm in season, it starts off with me going to morning practice for an hour and a half. So that's from 6 to 7:30. And then after that, I get ready for my classes. I go to breakfast, and then I have classes from, depending on the day, ranges from 8 to 2:30. And after classes, I take like a break. I normally do homework or like hang out with friends. And then I head to practice at 4. And we have practice for 2.5 hours in the evening. So that 2.5 hour slot has strength and conditioning and time in the pool. So we have both of these kind of practice sessions in the 2.5 hour slot. And then after the entire team heads over to Cheney, and we have dinner together. And that's like kind of like one of the best things about like being on a team, that you eat with your team and you get bonding time out of the pool. And then after we have dinner, I head back to my dorm. I like attend like club meetings, or I do homework or just hang out with friends.
Thanks, McKaylee. Sounds like a full day. And being a student athlete many, many years ago, I can still remember a lot of those dinners at Cheney and hanging out with teammates. And you're right, that's the bonding time that we all love and that we all remember. Thanks, McKaylee. Paniotis, we're going to shift over to you. Can you talk a little bit about choosing a major and how your first year seminar class helped you in choosing your major?
Yeah, so I really like this question. I think it's important for people to come in undeclared. I think a lot of people stress out about picking a major, which I understand. It's very nerve-wracking just making sure you get into college and kind of know what you want to do. But the best thing that happened for me was I came in undeclared, and they made it mandatory now for all freshmen to be in this first year seminar class. Basically, they just bring in teachers and professors of each department, and you can kind of get a feel of what you want to do. They'll make a quick presentation about their major and kind of tell you all the avenues that you can go down to post-college or going to grad school and all that. But being in that class was the best thing that happened to me. It really just took away all the stress and helped me choose exercise science, which I fell in love with, and I'm happy to be in that major.
Great. Thanks, Cam. Thanks, Paniotis. Switching to Cam. Cam, we have a lot of resources for our student athletes here, as you know. Can you talk a little bit about how you and some of your teammates may have used some of those resources?
Yeah, like you said, a lot of resources. So, I'm sure that I'm going to be missing a couple here, but just some of the things that I can talk about are, for me specifically with football, we do utilize the athletic training room a lot. It's something that, I can go in every single day and get treatment. They also give things such as they'll get your like physical therapy almost in a way of, they'll set you up in like getting ready to play after you get hurt. But also shifting off of that, we do have a varsity weight room on campus, and the varsity weight room is different than, what our recreational weight room is. Only the varsity athletes can use it, and I think some club teams use it as well. But that alone is really cool because that's something for us. It's something that, we have strength coaches that are in there, working with us. Also, I want to talk a little bit about our abilities we have athletic counselors. And that alone on campus is really beneficial because for us athletes, we're always taught, go in sport. But, at the end of the day, mentally, it's cool to have a little bit of, downtime and being able to, realize where you're at. As well as the one last thing for my football team is we do have study hall, which is really beneficial to first year students because study hall alone, again, you're managing a whole new schedule. So it's really important that you get this opportunity to, you're here to go to school, make sure you get your work done. So those are some of the resources that we have.
Thanks, Cam. That's a great overview. Sam, can you talk to us a little bit about how you balance academics with athletics when you're in season and out of season?
Yeah, I think coming in freshman year, it was a really big adjustment. The physical therapy program is a really tough program, and we have a lot of tough programs here on campus. So I think the main thing is what everyone tells you, but it is really important, is time management and, blocking out times in your day to do homework. It's not like high school where you come home after practice and do homework. You're going to be way too tired to do that. So you have to learn to start to do homework in the middle of the day or in the morning when you wake up before class. It's really important. And I think a big thing is leaning on your coaches and leaning on your teammates because they're there to help you. And a big thing on campus too is we have tutors for every subject. It's free to every student. And it's really important to utilize those as a student athlete because you have so much going on and you don't want to be too stressed out. So especially freshman year, it's really important to get a schedule together and figure out when you're going to do your work. And like Cam said, a lot of teams have study hall so you can get together with your teammates and do homework. But it is really important to manage your time as a student athlete here.
For sure. Thanks, Sam. McKaylee, for a student who's traveling from pretty far away, how do you find the support to be from teammates and coaches when your family is so far away?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So before I even came to Springfield, when I was accepted and decided to come to Springfield, the summer before, I remember my coach, he was always reaching out to me, and the seniors at the time, they reached out to me via email, and then we started communicating via text. So my coach and my teammates started building the relationship before I even stepped onto campus. So I think that was a really big thing for me, seeing how my teammates took it upon themselves to reach out to me and to get to know me before I got onto campus. And also, as I'm currently on campus, my teammates always check up on me and ask me how things are at home. They always ask me like what are my plans for, like, let's say Thanksgiving break or Christmas break. So they always offer like housing and say if you're not able to go home this break, you could always stay by me. Like every semester I always have like six different options to stay at a teammate's house if I choose to like not go home for that break. And also my coach is also very understanding. He always checks up on me and the other international students on the swim team. So I think that's like one of the major things that really helped me like have a smoother transition to the team and like have that sense of family on the team.
Yeah, that's really important that you have that support from your team. Thanks, McKaylee. Thanks for sharing. Paniotis, manage your time with athletics and academics and social life. And what's it like for the winter sports student athletes who are here during intersession in January?
Yeah, so freshman year, I actually had a really difficult time just adjusting to college life and getting used to, the college homework load. But the biggest thing is just having a plan each day and try to get a little bit of that plan done. There's a big thing that we talk about every day here is just getting 1% better every day. The cool thing about it, like Cam said, like I'm rooming with a football kid. So a lot of his culture is kind of intertwined and I get to learn a lot just from him. And going off that too, it's important to just get out of your team bubble. As much as I love my teammates and brothers, it's a lot sometimes. And it's good to just get out of your comfort zone, meet new people and all that. Because last year I had a basketball roommate and it went well and all that, but it was just a lot of time being spent around basketball, talking basketball. So having this change and rooming with someone else was a great decision for me. And going off that, our time on intersession, which is basically the winter sport athletes stay on campus right after Christmas, we'll come back and we'll get rolling with our conference schedule and we'll have pretty much the meat of our season during the whole month of January. Basically, we're the only ones on campus. So it's really a good time to kind of recharge because we have no school. And it really just gets you going and you have all that time just to work on your sport, take care of yourself and just get 1% better and get ready for that second semester.
Awesome. Thanks, Paniotis. All right, our closing questions. Our students have had such great answers. Hopefully you've learned a little bit about athletics and balancing academics. One closing question for all of you is, why does Springfield College work for you? And Cam, we'll start it off with you.
Yeah, so SC works for me because, when I was in the process, I wanted to be at a place with like-minded people. There's not a lot of places in this country that you're going to see where there's a lot of athletes walking around. Like it's really crazy. Like I said, all my friends are guys on my team, guys on every other team, women on other teams. So it's really important that, I came to a place with like-minded people. But also Springfield College, is a place where nothing comes easy. You work for everything you got. Also, like I said, I'm a kid from the inner city. Nothing really came easy for me. So I knew that this place was going to be a place that was going to set me up because I was going to continue to work hard and be the best possible version of myself. And to close that off, I want to say, when you surround yourself with like-minded people, I believe anything is possible.
Thanks, Cam. Sam?
I would say that Springfield College works for me because of the balance between academics, athletics, and a social life. I was looking at Division II schools, but it really harps on the student athlete part. And I think at Springfield College, we are able to work on all parts of ourselves. And it's really important that academics here are very strong. Our athletic teams are all extremely good and in our conference every single year. So I think that's why Springfield works for me, is the really good balance.
Thanks, Sam. McKaylee?
So the reason why Springfield works for me is because of the campus community and environment. I was really looking for a school where I'd have that sense of home away from home and that sense of family. So Springfield College checks off all of the boxes. Professors, coaches, teammates, faculty, they continually check up on students and they want to see students succeed and they want to get to know you and know your name. So that was like the main factor and the reason why Springfield works for me.
Great, thanks. Paniotis?
Yeah, my biggest thing with choosing Springfield was just I wanted a place that felt like home. And for me, what feels like home is that I have people that I can lean on, that people that can count on me to get stuff done. And I can look to my right and left and see that my peers are working just as hard as I am. And this is a place that you're going to find that. And the teachers, administrators, all the people up top want the best for you. And they show it. They don't just say it, they show it, and they really do try. And it's a family vibe here. It's a place where people look out for each other. And it's the whole mission statement where educating the whole person in spirit, mind, body for leadership and service to others is a huge part of why I chose to come here as well. You just got to put yourself out there. If you come here, put yourself out there. Springfield College has a huge network of connections, great connections too. Like Cam said, you got to work hard and things will come your way.
Thanks, Paniotis. All right, so I just want to take a moment to thank our students for their answers, their honesty, and just really sharing a lot with us. Great job with the answers. Cam, Sam, McKaylee, and Paniotis, will give you a virtual round of applause. And yes, great job all around. Thank you. So we are going to transition now to our athletics resource panel. We have a group of staff members who help take care of our student athletes here at Springfield. And we have 5 panelists on. So I'm going to start by asking the panelists to introduce themselves, talk a little bit about their roles here at Springfield. And Barkley, our head AT, would you like to start us off?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Barkley Duggar. I'm a faculty member in our athletic training education program. I am also the head athletic trainer. So my responsibilities with that title is overseeing the healthcare of our student athletes. And we have about 700 plus student athletes that we take care of. Fortunately, I don't have to do it by myself. I have 6 other staff members that help with providing healthcare to all of our student athletes. I've been here 19 years. Prior to being here, I was a head athletic trainer at another Division II institution. And prior to that, I was with the Los Angeles Dodgers in their system. So I'm on my 31st year as a certified athletic trainer. And that's basically me in a nutshell right there.
Dr. Milano, would you like to go next?
Sure. Barkley has a lot more street cred than me. I'm only in my 2nd year here at Springfield College. My name is Kathleen Milano, and I am an assistant professor in the sport and exercise psychology program in the exercise science department. I am the fieldwork coordinator for the applied sports psychology services that our program provides, our students provide. So what that means is that we have students placed with teams and they provide mental skills training for you athletes to help you get that 1% better. So that's our role, and I coordinate all that. And we have a lot of folks who are going to be doing it next year, about 20. So look out, we're going to be with your teams, hopefully. So I see some familiar coaches here that I know very well, and I talk to a lot. So they hopefully can give you some insight on how we work as well. Thanks.
Thanks, Dr. Milano. Daisy?
Perfect. Hi, everybody. So we're just going to keep going down the totem pole here. You know, Barkley was at 31, Dr. Milano was at 3, and I'm here at 8 months. So hello, welcome. I just got to Springfield College this past semester, and it's been an honor. So my name is Daisy Alazy. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a former women's basketball player from Virginia Commonwealth. I'm really excited to be here at Springfield College, and my role here is it's very long and long-winded, the coordinator of student athlete leadership development and sports communications assistant. And essentially, I am here to help you with everything in between of making sure that you leave Springfield College as a better person than what you came in. And so a part of me, so hopefully we'll get to see you all sometime in the next few years. I'm a very engaging and interactive person. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my time and do a quick temp check and see how you all are doing. If you're feeling good, put a thumbs up, a reaction. If you're doing okay, you can do the little shock face emoji. I just want to see how everybody's doing. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Oh, I love it. Good energy. So hopefully you take that energy with you when you go and talk to the coaches in the next session and when you're doing everything with admissions following that. But other than that, we're here to help with programming and student groups. So anything that you're interested in, we pretty much have that. So right now we have some student groups. We have the DEI student group. We have student athlete enhancement student group. We have the community Humanics and Action student group. We have the community relations student group. I see Michelle smiling, so she's making me smile. And we also have, oh my gosh, Michelle, I'm blanking on the
Team
line.
Impact.
Team Impact student group. And so it's just, we have these different groups for you all to be a part of, things that you may care about or want to learn more about. And then other than that, we have other programs that help guide you through your intercollegiate experience and then help prepare you for life after. So the main one that I'm going to talk about now briefly is just PASS. And that's a program that you all would be a part of as soon as you come into Springfield College. And that pretty much just helps you in different realms of like academic success, time management, understanding how to communicate with your professors and coaches, and pretty much aligning yourself to ensure that you have a better future ahead of you.
Thank you, Daisy. Dr. Thompson.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brian Thompson. I am the Director of Strength and Conditioning at Springfield. I'm in my 23rd year, so I threw off the order a little bit. I'm fortunate enough to be able to direct and coordinate everything strength and conditioning at the college. We're very fortunate to have a 7,500 square foot weight room, 25 yards of turf, 18 platforms, one of the best facilities you'll see in the country at any level. I also am a professor of exercise science, so I teach in that area. And I am the director of the graduate program in strength and conditioning. And because of that, we have a lot of coaches, students that come in to get their master's in strength and conditioning with me, and they work with our athletes. We currently have a staff of 15 coaches with their CSCS, which is the highest certification in strength and conditioning. We also have 5 sports nutrition certified coaches on staff. So we provide a full range of services for the for the student athletes, from the weight room to nutrition, tours of the dining facilities, all kinds of different things like that.
Thanks, Dr. Thompson. Nina?
Hey everyone, thanks so much for having me today. My name is Nina Winsick. I am a second-year graduate student actually in the athletic counseling program here at Springfield. And I've been here for 2 years, so I'm actually graduating this year. Very excited about that. And at Springfield, so I am the graduate assistant for the athletic counseling program. And as an athletic counselor, I have the pleasure of working alongside individual athletes, teams, coaches, and our athletic training staff in the sport injury rehab clinic. And I provide one-on-one counseling, workshops, and I get to attend practices and competitions, providing mental skills training, as well as counseling services to our athletes. Really love working with our athletes on campus, and so excited to be here on behalf of our program here today. So thank you.
Thanks, Nina. All right, we're going to get into a couple questions for each of our panelists. Barkley, you mentioned earlier that you support student athletes who become injured or ill and aren't able to practice or compete. Can you talk about a specific situation where a student was injured or unable to compete and how you worked with that student to help them recover and return to play?
Absolutely. We, like I said, we have, there's 7 of us that provide healthcare to our student athletes. We also have a team physician who has a weekly clinic in our facility here on campus. And he's a non-surgical orthopedist. He's actually an emergency room doctor with a sports medicine fellowship background. So he's actually fits the role perfectly because my staff and I can handle the orthopedic injuries, the acute new injuries on the field or on the court. His expertise comes in handy when he's here for our big events, when some gen med stuff goes down. So he's a great fit. We also have an orthopedic surgery group. One of their PAs, physician assistants, comes in twice a month to see our athletes. So we have a couple channels to get you moving along to see a physician. But typically, here's how it happens when someone gets hurt, aka not someone, but a student athlete. Our staff members decide whether or not they do need to see the physician or not. If worst case scenario, they do need to see a physician, they'll get in with Dr. Greenbacher on Tuesday, and we'll be taking care of them daily during that time between injury and when his clinic is on Tuesday. If it's much more urgent, they may go to the health center for an x-ray, or they may go to a clinic off campus, or we may get them directly right into our surgical group, which is right in downtown Springfield, if we feel it's that urgent. But typically those are the outliers. We'll be taking care of you in the athletic training room. You'll be seeing us daily with the staff member that you've been working with or is assigned to your team. He or she will progress you along through the injury and make sure you're getting your return to play protocol all in order, and you do not disappear on us. If we need to keep you in our program until you're ready to return to play. Your progress is updated daily with your coaching staff, so they know what's going on. It's also updated with your strength and conditioning coach, with Dr. Thompson's staff, so they know what they can do with you down in the weight room, because you have sometimes multiple days in the weight room during your season. But again, we'll see you through the injury and get you back on the field in a safe, practical manner. Big injuries do happen in collegiate athletics, and meaning injuries that might need a surgery, simple injuries that may take a long time to heal, such as hamstrings. They may knock you out for a season. When those cases do come up, we have a morning clinic that is totally dedicated to basically our postoperative cases. And those student athletes are assigned with a staff member for an hour every morning, and that's throughout the week. And we see those student athletes after surgery, right after surgery, and do their therapy right to the end, and meaning when they return to their sport. So it's a very comprehensive program. We have a lot of resources. We also have a chiropractor that used to come on campus, but as with the COVID world, that was not allowed to continue. But we do have a direct relations with Dr. Langelos, so we can get you into his clinic very timely fashion. So again, it's a very comprehensive program. We're open basically 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or during to the end of the last practice, which is typically about 8 p.m. And we're at all the home games. We do travel with some teams. We travel with during all playoffs and postseason play. So it's very busy, but we all enjoy what we do, and we love working with our student athletes here. I'm available for any questions if we're doing that.
Thanks, Barkley. Let's shift over to Dr. Milano. You mentioned ways that you and your colleagues support student athletes. Can you just talk a little more specifically about how one of the sports psychologists would work with a team or with individual student athletes?
Sure, thanks. It can look a variety of ways, and so I'll pick probably our most typical. But what I will say is that how we work is really largely dependent on the team's needs, the coach's wants, and the culture of the team that we are positioned with. So typically our student athletes or our students are working with you all and student athletes as the primary sport and exercise psychology consultant. We usually only have one or possibly two sport and exercise psych students with you. And they'll do an assessment of what they think. They'll do an assessment with the coaches, with the athletes, and anybody involved in that program to see really generally what the primary focus of their work should be, so that they're not just kind of shooting in the dark, so they can tailor a program for you all. And they are with the team. They attend practices. as much as they can and as much as desired by the coaches. They dialogue with you all on the side, and they're with you. They try to insert themselves in their program as much as acceptable. And then when they design a program, they can deliver group-based sessions. So things that target, maybe there's pre-performance anxiety seems to be a primary concern for this team, and they'll target training around that and do group sessions. They might also do individual work, so one-on-one work with you all. So on your own time, separate away from the team, or it could be even on the court, in the field, or in the gym. So it takes many different shapes. So a lot of the time you'll do group and individual work, and it progresses throughout the season. So usually we start our programming with y'all in the fall, and then it just kind of goes on throughout preseason, season, whatever season you are in. And then there's just a whole system that kind of flows from there. So it's not constantly delivering, because sometimes it's not the right time to be doing that. But it's very largely based on your needs, and every year it kind of shifts around a little bit based on the new team, the new people who join the team, and what the coach is observing and what the athletes are seeing as a large need. So it takes a lot of different shape, but essentially they are a resource to you that you can go to at any time. As long as they're there, you can call them, you can interact with them on the sideline, you can engage in these workshops, and so on. So that's the general way that it looks, but it can take so many different shapes that when you do have one with your team, you'll see that maybe I was only partially correct, because it will be based on what you all need.
Thanks, Dr. Milano. Daisy, you mentioned the Pride Athletics Success Seminar program that you offer for first-year student athletes when they arrive. Can you just talk a little bit more about that and elaborate on it, please?
Yeah, so the Pride Athletic Success Seminars are for first-year students when you guys arrive, and it's pretty much a welcoming for you all here so that you all know what available resources you have for you, and pretty much just to help you transition into the world of college. And so some of the sessions that we've had in the past, we've had academic success, where we've had professors and our nutritionists come in and just pretty much talk about like things like time management, how to build relationships with your teachers, your advisors, faculty, etc. So that way, they know and they understand that, you're a student athlete here at Springfield College, and, in a regular world, take away COVID, that you would be traveling in the midst of classes, and then, ensuring that, you're talking and communicating with them in advance and letting them know just in case for when you're gone. Other sessions we've talked about are mental health, and we've had the counseling center come in and they talk about coping mechanisms, how to deal with stress, anxiety, depression, relationships, and things of that nature. And it just pretty much is a way, kind of like how, a resource for you to go to if you're feeling stressed because of work, because of school, because of athletics, but just a place for you to go to outside of the realm of your sports team in order to talk to somebody who's there for you to kind of like help dive a little bit deeper into what it is that you're feeling and why you're feeling the way that you are, which is really beneficial. And it's awesome that it's here because, anything can happen, from lack of playing time to an injury to, things going on at home, that just kind of like those external factors that you may not have control of, and you have somebody that's readily available for you to kind of help you talk through those things, because no one wants to talk to your coach necessarily about, hey, I think I should play more, and it's really messing with me. So it's just kind of like, they're there for you to kind of like express that, so that way you can come back and have these difficult conversations with the people who you may need to have them with. Another session that we have with that as well is the physical health and well-being. And so for that one, we had someone come in and talk about nutrition. So it's pretty much, how to eat. I know that sounds crazy. I'm sure all of you probably eat fantastically, but once you become a collegiate athlete, it's really important to know what you're putting in your body. And then, you're going to be working out so much, you're going to be walking to class, you're going to be doing all these other things. So it's important to make sure that you're putting in as much as you're giving out. And so you just want to make sure that you're eating the proper things. We also talked about sleep. Sleep is so important. Don't be a night owl. I'm not a night owl. I was a grandma in college too. So it's just kind of like, you want to make sure that you are getting the right amounts of sleep for the amounts of energy and effort that you're going to be putting forth towards your day every single day. So just talking about the importance of, make sure you get this amount of sleep, make sure you're doing these things and the types of things to do before you go to bed as well. Like, stay off of your phone, turn off your TV, kind of like have that good wind down time before you actually go to bed. So just those tips and tricks to help with, ensuring that you're getting the best amount of rest possible. And then another thing that we talked about was substance use. And so, drug-free campus, but we want to make sure that, if there is anything that may come up or occur that, this is how you deal with it. These are the people who you can talk to. And we just want to be readily available just in case anything in life does transpire. But other than that, we're pretty much just here to help guide you and welcome you to Springfield College campus, and just to show you and allow you to see like the readily available resources for anything that you can think of that happens in your life that could transpire while you're here with us, that we have somebody here that is more than ready and welcome to help you through that process. So the PASS program is just an introduction to staff members who you may or may not meet throughout your time here at Springfield College, but just to let you know that they're there just in case that you do need them.
Thanks, Daisy. Definitely a great way to start off on the right foot. Dr. Thompson, you spoke earlier about the benefits of having a varsity weight room and strength and conditioning coaches who work with all the teams. Can you talk about what a typical strength program looks like, and routine, what it looks like in season as well as out of season?
Definitely. One of the biggest thing as far as your strength program that we're going to design for you, it's going to be specific to the needs of the team and the needs of the athlete. So we can do some individual programs. We coordinate a lot with Barkley as far as if you've got an injury, we're going to have you train all your healthy limbs and joints. We also do a movement screen with all the athletes at the beginning of the year to see if you have any dysfunctions in movement that are going to possibly lead to injuries in the future. So we address those right away through some corrective exercises. We've mentioned nutrition a couple times. We also do a nutrition screen to see if you have any nutrition deficiencies that we need to address. So all these things go into designing the program. I mentioned we have probably the biggest staff in the country. You're going to get a coach with a background in your sport that knows what it's like to train for that sport. Typically in season, we're going to lift 2 to 3 days a week, hopefully 3, but obviously scheduling can be difficult with competitions, and 3 days out of season. We start every training session with a 10-minute warm up in the turf area. Then you move to the platform. So you get about 30 minutes there to address any type of, to work on them. I'm sorry, like your bigger lifts, your squats, your bench, our Olympic movements, those types of things. Then we'll move into the dumbbell area for 10 to 15 minutes to do our accessory work. And then back to the other side of the turf for 5 to 10 minutes to do any type of cool down or finishing. We do a lot of weighted carries with kettlebells in the finishing area. I see some of the athletes laughing there, but I love weighted carries. So we're going to be very respectful of your time. I know the athletics panel, the student athlete panel talked a lot about the class load and balancing everything. So we're going to get you in and out of there in an hour. It's pretty intense. You keep moving the whole time. We don't allow anyone to sit down. We'll pair a lot of exercises so you get an active rest in between everything. But every exercise we have you do in there is to make you a better athlete, to make you better on the court, the field, the mat, wherever it may be, and to keep you healthy.
Thanks, Doctor. Nina, we're going to shift over to you. You talked earlier about the different types of support you and your colleagues offer student athletes. Can you just talk a little more specifically about those supports that you all offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So similar to what both Dr. Milano and Dr. Thompson said, we really tailor it to each team and then individual athletes. So our athletic counselors work closely with our coaches as well as our athletes to provide a needs assessment, assessing for what kinds of programming will be helpful for the teams and athletes. And then from there, our athletic counselors work to provide workshop programming. So that might be perhaps a team wants to work on communication or team cohesion. We might set up workshops to work on those specific skills. And those we've this year we've done a lot virtually. So over Zoom, we perform workshops as well as in person as things have kind of opened up for us. So that's been a really great opportunity for us. We also, a lot of the work we do is one-on-one counseling. So each team that we work with has a set of athletic counselors who are each assigned a caseload of athletes. So at the beginning of the year, so around that fall, when all athletes come back, we have our athletic counselors reach out to their individual caseloads, offering services. Now, student athletes don't have to use the one-on-one counseling, but we provide check-ins throughout the semester, throughout each semester, of just checking out on you, seeing if you'd like to set up a session, and that's kind of gives some agency to our student athletes of if they'd like to work one-on-one with an athletic counselor. And some of the things that we work on can be sport related and also topics not related to sport. And then we also go through a referral process to our counseling center. So if things are beyond our scope, so if there are clinical mental health issues that come up, we take steps to refer our student athletes to our counseling center. We also do study halls. I know Cam from our football team talked about a little bit about study hall. So that's another service that we offer. We've done it both virtually and in person this year. So giving student athletes the opportunity to take time to study and do homework for a couple hours a week. We also attend practices and competitions, so similar to our sports psych students. So we will be there kind of on the sidelines in the background, observing and at practices and competitions. And again, we also work with our sport injury rehab clinic. So that's with our athletic training staff, which has been a really great opportunity to support athletes who are experiencing injury and some of the mental challenges that come along with that.
Thanks, Nina. We're just going to wrap up this panel with one last closing question for our panelists. And if you give us your 30 to 45-second answer for this, as we're running out of time a little bit here, but we do want to hear your answer to this question. If you could just tell me, what is it that you enjoy most about working with Springfield College athletes? Barkley, start us off.
So when I saw this question, I thought about it for a minute, and there's a lot of different ways I can go, and they're all positive. But here's how I see our student athletes. They're very driven and focused young men and women. What I mean by that, they're very responsible. They're timely. They show up for their appointments sometime, even early, and they follow through with their responsibilities, whether that's in the classroom or taking care of their injuries and being on time for practice and meetings and so forth and so on. That's what I got. Perfect.
Thanks. Dr. Milano?
Yeah, I was going to say something similar. I was going to say the commitment that we've seen when we've worked with the athletes here at Springfield College. They know that we are an additional resource to them. And when we are interacting with them, they're all in. And it's something really nice to have on our end of things, because for me, I feel like my students are very supported by that commitment from both sides. So it's a really nice relationship that we have going there. And the other thing I'd say is that y'all are incredibly welcoming here at Springfield College. So we are a new person every season, and you're like, come on in, you're with our team. So that's a fun part for us as well. So I love working with Springfield student athletes.
Thanks. Daisy?
What I enjoy the most so far, I would definitely say, is the innovation of our student athletes. I feel like every meeting that I have with them, or in every interaction I have with them, there's something new that they want to do or something new that they want to put on. And so I love, being able to be their assistant. Like the other day, I felt like, I was helping out women's gymnastics, and I was just like, never thought I'd have a 21-year-old boss, but here I am. So I love being able to be that person to help put their dreams and their goals and their desires ahead, because, they have such fresh ideas and novel ideas. So my favorite part is all the great ideas that they come to me with, and being able to see them all come to life for them. So
awesome. Dr. T?
The Springfield student athletes make me have the greatest job in the world, because it's fun. I love working with our athletes. The weight room is my happy place. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. The drive the student athletes have, and the family atmosphere at Springfield College is just something I've never seen anywhere else.
Perfect. Nina, finish us off.
Really echoing everything that everyone else said, just the passion and drive of our student athletes, as well as just their ability and willingness to lean into discomfort and new challenges. It makes it really fun to work with, and just I really appreciate the collaborative relationship that we get to have. So it's just a lot of fun, and it's just great to have this work. So
thanks. I could not agree with all of you more. Let's just give another virtual round of applause to our panel for our student athlete support services. Great to hear from all of you and all the information. We really appreciate it.
Welcome back, everyone. I want to thank the coaches for being on today and meeting with our prospective students. I'm sure you'll all be hearing from them soon. You are more than welcome to listen to me talk about admissions and tell these people more about Springfield College. Many of you could probably give this presentation for me. So thank you for being here. You're more than welcome to go and enjoy your Sunday or stay on. But thank you. And for any of the current students who joined us, thank you again for being here. You're also more than welcome to go enjoy your Sunday. Thank you again for your time this morning. Bye. All right. For everyone who is still here, thank you for sticking with us. You know, this is a program that's really about introducing you to Springfield College. So, you know, you've heard a lot already from the coaches as well as, you know, some of the current students. I would just love, as Daisy put it, temperature check. I'd love to just get a thumbs up if you've ever been on our campus before. I just would love to see, and if you haven't, then yeah, no thumbs up. I just wanted to get an idea of how many people have actually been on our college campus. All right. Now, next up, I'd love to know if you know a Springfield College alum or heard about Springfield College from someone who either works here or went here. Give a thumbs up in that regard. Okay. I ask that because oftentimes people hear about Springfield College from someone who went here. As you all are doing your college search, really, really important to pay attention to how people associated with that college feel about it. I cannot wait to host you on campus. I think it makes a huge difference when you actually get to see the college that you're looking at. We have tours open 6 days a week right now. We also will be open all summer. We take 2 days off, which are May 6th and 7th, to allow our current students to get through their first couple days of their finals. And then we will be open starting May 10th through August 20th, 5 days a week. So please, if you can, come to campus. If you're from far away, I know we have at least one person here from California or from Hawaii, and I think we also have some people, other people from far away. We have the opportunity for, yeah, Charlie, you love it. We have the opportunity for virtual tours. We have the opportunity for virtual info sessions. So we can get a lot of information to you in whatever way works best for you. We can also connect you with the coach at a different time. I'm sure the coaches are going to be sharing their contact information. We can connect with you as you get closer into your senior year. If you are a junior right now, can you give me just a thumbs up so I can see how many of you are in your junior year? Yeah, yes, give me a real thumbs. I love it. Or a virtual thumbs up. Okay. Thumbs up, thumbs up. If you are a sophomore, can you give me a thumbs up? Okay. Looks like most of you are juniors. So you really are in a really good spot right now. This is a really good time to be looking and kind of starting that college search. I do want to run you through just a little bit of a presentation to tell you a little bit more about us. I know this has already been over an hour of your time, so I don't want to bore you or cause anyone to just, you know, leave me here. So I'm happy I'm still seeing some smiling faces and you still have your screen up. Let me just find it here. Let me find my presentation. Just a second. I'm going to pull it up before I pull this up. All right. This is going to be a little bit easier. Sorry, guys. All right. So don't mind that. That's just my schedule here. All right. So I'm going to run you through just a little bit about us. I think it's important for you guys to see this.
No, I can't see your screen.
Oh, you can't?
Mm.
Oh, it says it's paused. Here we go. This should work. Oh, it's not showing this part.
Okay, there you go.
Can you see it now?
I see your schedule.
Do you see the schedule?
Yeah, I see your schedule.
Weird. On mine, it's showing the presentation. Let's try this again. Sorry, guys. I promise I've used a computer before. All right, let's try this. Yes? Presentation?
Yes, presentation.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it like this because for some reason when I try to share my entire screen, it just it shows you another thing. But you all got to see what my schedule looks like, so now you know what I'm doing this week. So we just share this. I think it's important for you all to know the deep ties we have to a lot of different sports at Springfield College. But also I hope you get a really good idea of the kind of culture we have on campus. Our roots are very much intertwined with what our Humanics philosophy is now, which I'll go over in a minute. But when you're looking at colleges, I think looking at, how long has that college been around and have they had the same sort of moral compass from the beginning, which is the case for us. We've been around since 1885. And those of you who are interested in basketball, even those of you who are not interested in basketball, I think it's really interesting to know that the game of basketball was actually invented by James Naismith, who was a grad student at Springfield College in the late 1800s, tasked by the football coach at the time to keep the team in shape. He created a game that was really designed to condition athletes indoors, because back in the 1800s, it was deemed unsafe to recreate outside in the cold. The game of basketball was truly invented with a peach basket, originally not having a hole in it in the bottom. So people in the very beginning would climb a ladder to get the ball out between each basket. And there's a lot of people who think that the game was invented in Canada. James Naismith is Canadian. And there's a lot of people who think that Kansas somehow has the ownership over this game because James Naismith spent most of his career in Canada, but it was actually invented at Springfield College. And the real genesis behind how the game is played is because Dr. Naismith did not want the team to get hurt on his watch. There was no dribbling back then, no checking, nothing. And he wanted to keep them running to keep their heart rate up. And he was a grad student, so he had no budget. So he had no budget to buy supplies to create this game. The name volleyball was also invented at Springfield by Springfield College, or at Springfield College. So William Morgan, the inventor of the game, was calling it mintonette. They played one of their very first exhibition games on our campus. And during that first round of games, matches, someone said, you're volleying the ball back and forth, let's call it volleyball. And that decision was made actually at our Welcome Center, inside our Welcome Center when it used to be a gymnasium. I will, talk a little bit about the YMCA. So I know a lot of students' relationship in high school or even middle school, elementary school with the Y is going to a summer camp, after school program at your school. Maybe your parents work out there or you go to swim lessons. And then a lot of them have, kind of beginners or even intermediate, basketball camps, soccer camps, things like that. But the YMCA actually was invented in London, England, moved to Montreal, third one opened in Boston, and they decided to plant their roots in the United States. And that's when they opened a school to train people how to start their own YMCAs. And that is how Springfield College started, if you look at it as, a first major. I share that with you because we do still have really deep roots, the YMCA. We have a YMCA minor at Springfield College. We have a YMCA club. But also when you hear our mission, it's very deeply rooted in the YMCA, kind of same ideals. So as Dr. Poison mentioned at the very beginning, when you first got on here, he did talk about our mission. I like to share this really from your perspective as a 16, 17-year-old looking at colleges. Many of our students choose to live on campus, and they really look at this as a home away from home. And the way they're able to do that is really knowing that the college they've chosen is paying attention to the whole person. We don't just look at, hey, let's get students to come to Springfield because we have this major, period, end of statement. There's so much more that goes into your decision other than, this school has what I want to do, what I want to study. I look at Springfield College, and everyone that works and, is part of our community knows that a college campus is a living, breathing organism 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's truly someone's home for at least 9 months out of the year. And we actually have some international students who live on our campus all year round. So if you take a look at, what you want your experience to look like, you want to make sure that someone's paying attention to you all hours of the day, that someone's always making sure you have what you need. I think at all hours of the day, someone's awake on our campus needing something, or someone's providing some sort of service on our campus, whether it's cleaning your bathrooms, making your breakfast for when you wake up, late at night, making sure they're doing rounds. Our campus safeties, checking on the learning commons for our students who like to study late at night, all those kinds of things. So when we talk about educating our students in spirit, mind, and body, as Daisy was talking about earlier, there's so much leadership that can be learned that's not just in the classroom. Our student athletes have the opportunity to really grow during their time. And, a lot of, it's kind of cliche when people say the college years are the best years of your life. You learn about yourself. It truly is because of all these opportunities you have to grow that confidence, and it all trickles into the other things you're doing. So if you're confident on the field, that's going to carry over to the classroom. If you're doing well in classes, or you're contributing to your community by being part of a club or organization, you're feeling real good. You're getting a lot of feedback from your advisors or students. You're really connecting with people. That carries over into the, into your athletics. Everything is intertwined at Springfield. And so we really do try to make sure that our students are cared for, and that they have lots of people who are looking out for them. I would say for our student athletes, all those support services you heard from earlier, your coaches, your professors, the RAs on your floor, we have a counseling center on campus, we have a health center on campus, we have so many clubs and orgs people can be part of. Even the woman who comes and you meet when you go into our dining hall, she had to be told she had to stop hugging people at the beginning of this year, because she literally hugs every student as they walk in to get their meals. So that's just an example of what we mean by really that Humanics philosophy of just taking care of each other, taking care of yourselves as a whole person. I don't want this to go too much longer because I don't want to lose you all, but I do want to just talk about a couple more things. When you get to our campus, I want to definitely encourage you after today, if you got any kind of feeling like, okay, I could be a part of this community, the next step would absolutely be to come and visit us. Because what you'll see when you get on our campus is we don't just preach this idea of spirit, mind, body, in a presentation. It's who we are. It's how our curriculum is developed. It's how we are, encouraged as faculty and staff to treat one another. We are the kind of campus where you will see people walking together. You don't see heads down. You don't see people with headphones in. People are always walking around with each other. A lot of students like to say we're big enough that you don't know everybody. So you will always have the opportunity to get to know new people, but we're small enough. You always have someone to grab a coffee with. You always recognize someone when you're in the dining hall, and you always have someone to walk to and from class with. So it really is that best of both worlds. It's a true community on our campus, but you do still have some autonomy. So it feels a little different than high school. When we talk about faculty, I think it's really important for you to know that you have an advisor in your program. If you're coming in undeclared, you'll definitely have an advisor who you'll be set up with in our academic advising office. If you already know your major when you come to Springfield, you'll have a faculty member who will be with you for 4 or 4+ years if any of you are looking at any of our 4+ programs. So that's someone who gets to know you and becomes an advocate for you, both on our campus as a student and a student athlete, but also in your field. So it's someone who's going to try to connect you with as many people as they can while you're still in school, to get a bunch of numbers in your phone. So when it's time to graduate, you're never going to cold call a single person. You're going to have a group of people who are looking out for you to give you a reference, to give you a job. And it's all about who you know and who you connect with while you have people helping kind of facilitate that for you. Also, when you come to our campus, you're going to be able to see our learning commons, which is our kind of one-stop shop for academics at Springfield. I know that, we mentioned in our support services, all the different offices who help you as a student athlete. We also have study hall for our student athletes. It's an opportunity to get that extra support. And our academic success center at Springfield is designed for every student at Springfield College to be able to sign up for a tutor for any class that's taught at our school. That's always a peer tutor, someone who took that class and got an A. So it's really, I think when I was in high school, I thought tutor, I thought SATs, or I'm failing this class. That's the two kind of the two prongs I had for, this is why I need a tutor. At Springfield, I'm about to take a test in physics. I have no idea how to do this one problem. Let me sit with someone who took a test from that same professor last semester. They were going to be the best person to prepare me for this test. So I do hope that you'll get to come and see the Learning Commons and hear more about, our academic support services when you come to campus. I'm just showing this quick view. This is a really good way for you to see the size of our campus. We have only one street that runs through campus. It's Alden Street. One side of our campus, as you see, is most of our athletic facilities. The other side of our campus along Lake Massasoit is most of our residence halls, and then our campus union is also on the lake. Sandwiched in between those two is our academic buildings and our community buildings, like our dining hall, the Learning Commons I just mentioned, and our campus union. So most students, when they come to our campus, they ask a couple questions. We are in New England, so how much does it snow? How cold does it get? Daisy can tell you about that. She's from Baltimore, and this is one of her first winters up here. It gets cold, but it honestly varies year to year. The great thing about our campus is you can get from one end to the other in about 7 minutes. Most of our residence halls are actually really close to our academic buildings, which means you could technically get up at 7:53, probably be at your 8 a.m. class on time, maybe even have time to brush your teeth. And that's just nice to know. We have a really tight-knit campus. Our president has her home on our campus, Dr. Mary Beth Cooper. I love to share that because she both works and lives on our campus. She has a dog named Jack. You could be a dog walker. That's a great job for students. So it truly is a really tight-knit campus. A lot of people, when they're looking at colleges in a city, which Springfield is a city, they'll say, okay, I don't want to have to work out in one area, take a bus 2 blocks to get to my residence hall, and then maybe have classes a mile from there. We're all together. So where you work out, where you're, especially as a student athlete, where you have your lift and your practices is right on campus. And then because of the majors that we have and because of the experience we have in athletics, we are definitely a preferred site for people for hosting. So you get to have home team, home turf advantage quite a bit as a student athlete. These are our many majors. This is something you can look up on our website. I just like to share it real quick so you get an idea of the different majors that we have and the very small student to faculty ratio, which is super important if you're looking for that personalized experience and you really want to be someone who's noticing the classroom and someone who's getting that extra support when you need it. Definitely could have had Craig do this slide. We've got a couple slides left. This is an overview for you just to get an idea of a couple things on this slide. Number one, you see we have 26 varsity sports. We also have the opportunity for club sports and intramurals. You already heard about all the amazing support services, which is truly D1 level for our student athletes. We have an incredibly, we're really proud of this, the GPA that our student athletes had in the fall. So, you're all going through this right now too. You're living through something no other students your age have ever had to accomplish, which is going through your educational experience during a global pandemic. So the fact that our student athletes were able to get, 86% of them, 3.5 GPA or higher this fall was extremely impressive given everything that's going on. And the overall GPA for our 700 student athletes was just under a 3.5. That should tell you, students, that we certainly focus on the student perspective of your experience. It is a competitive sport. It is going to be something you have to put a lot of time into, but our coaches absolutely understand you need to be successful in the classroom in order to be successful on the field or court. And I love talking about team impact because I think it's really unique. If anyone's not heard of Team Impact, this is a nonprofit organization that pairs chronically ill children with athletic teams. It could be anywhere from a D1 to a D3 level. We happen to have, and Daisy, correct me if I'm wrong, 14 of our teams have a Team Impact student that they truly become a member of the team. They get to come to practices, come to games, they wear the jersey, and they really are a huge motivator for the students, the student athletes, to understand, everything these kids are up against, and the fact that they want to give, their energy and their time to contribute to our team. It's really mutually beneficial, and it's something that's really special to be a part of. I always love to show up. We have any softball people here. And I think it's just when you're looking at colleges, all of you, especially right now, be looking at development, be looking at what they're doing to improve that campus and all the different things that the students have access to. I think that shows you just the health of a college or university. So we actually just turfed our last non-turf field this past November, which is our softball field. It's arguably the nicest softball facility in New England. So definitely, if you're interested in softball, come take a look at it. And then we are building a brand new health sciences center. Any of you who are looking at health sciences, PT, OT, PA, you'd be taking classes in here. And this is going to be built from the ground up. So this is not a refurbishing of an old building. So this is my second to last slide, just to kind of give you a heads up. I know it's a Sunday and you probably all have things to do. So I just want to share, I think, you know, if you call this the pitch, maybe that's what it is. But I think when you're looking at colleges, please certainly be asking, what are you doing to set me up for when I leave here? We all fall in love with our students. The coaches, you know, and all of us grow a huge bond to the students while they're here. But we absolutely just want them more than anything else to feel confident to leave, to be ready when they're getting ready to leave, to know what their next step is. And so that practical experience, you won't just get one internship, you'll get multiple clinical or practical placements, depending on what your major is. And the reason for that is because we want you to have stuff on your resume. Anyone, when they go to apply for their first job, they'll ask you for 1 to 2 or even more years of experience. To be able to add real experiences from your field on your resume before you graduate is going to put you way ahead of the curve of other graduating students. Also, it's just going to be about the people you know and the connections that you make while you're here. So the last thing I just want to share is that we have some upcoming opportunities. This upcoming Friday, we have a Discovery Day. That would be an opportunity for you to meet with more students. So you can actually shoot us an email if you're interested in attending that, or go onto the website and just type in Discovery Day. You've got to hear more about the admissions process, the details about financial aid and all that stuff, but also get to hear from a current student. And again, the best thing you can do when you're looking at colleges is absolutely to be interacting with students who go to that school. I think that's the most important thing, because that's the best way for you to know if it's a good fit. What questions do people have for me? That was a lot of information from a lot of people. Anything? I'm so happy to see this many people still on. I mean, it's, you know, it's a Sunday, it's almost lunchtime. What I'm gonna do is, if anyone is interested in sticking on and seeing our virtual tour, I absolutely welcome you to stay. Again, there's opportunities to come to campus. There's opportunities to do the virtual tour in a time that works best for you, since it's actually posted on our website. But if you want to stick around and then have any questions after that, I'd be happy to do that with you. Otherwise, you're all free to go, and thanks for being here today. I hope you got a good idea of what it's like to wear the jersey at Springfield. Daisy, you want to close us out?
How I always close out all of my student sessions is go have fun, do what college students do, but you're not college students yet, so do what high schoolers do and enjoy your Sunday.